Okay, cool. Let's get started. I have my yoga mat. I'm excited to join Christina myself. Hey everyone, my name is Jessie. I'm a part of the Rethink Travel Marketing team, if you haven't seen me quite yet. So excited that you're joining us for this session. We wanted to do something different this year and end the day on something more relaxing. Hopefully you've joined one of our mixology lessons or our cooking lessons or something like that. But today we have Christina joining us. She's one of the Rethink Travel team members. So we we made her do a yoga session for us, but she was very easily convinced, don't worry. We wanted to do this yoga session for you guys to end your day on a relaxing note. So Christina's joining us from her living room in New York. She's been teaching yoga for 3 to 4 years now and was actually doing a lot of virtual classes last year during the pandemic. So we thought this was the perfect opportunity to bring yoga to you. If you guys have any questions, we're not going to take any throughout the session, but I would love to pass those on to Christina at the end. If you have a question about a certain pose or Christina's history or anything you'd like, please type those through. I'm still here moderating, but I am going to be taking the class as well. So I'll hand everything over to Christina. Please take a deep breath, relax, and enjoy this Vinyasa yoga session.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that very kind intro, Jessie. I am so excited to be having this session with you all because this brings together my two biggest passions, travel and yoga. So I don't want to take up too much time away for our time in the mat together. So I'll keep this short and sweet. But this is going to be a 30-minute vinyasa style yoga practice. And vinyasa just means that we're going to be linking our breath with our movement. So it's a nice and fluid practice. Should feel really good to end your day on. And just one thing to keep in mind is while you can see me, I can't see you. So I really want to make sure that you listen to your body first before you listen to me. I want this practice to feel good for you and you alone. So just keep that in mind as you practice. I'm going to be demoing the whole class with you. I'm going to be doing it right alongside you and also verbally cueing all the poses. So if you get lost at any point in time, you can just look up at your screen or listen out for my cues, okay? So that's about it. And we're gonna get started laying on our backs in Shavasana, what we call Shavasana. It's a resting pose. If you feel like you're gonna fall asleep on me, I'm just gonna invite you to come to a seated position like I am right now. But otherwise, find your way into a comfortable reclined position on your mat. Allow your legs to be mat width distance, your palms down by your side, face up towards the sky, and just work out those kinks, right? Make any final movements you need, and then let yourself come to some stillness. You can close down your eyes and just begin to soften everything. So your body, your mind, and any expectations that you may have set for your practice this evening. Now is your time to let it all go and to just be. So let's begin with a few nice intentional rounds of breath. So taking deep inhales through your nose. Slow exhales out through your mouth to begin. Just easing our way into presence. Just fill up as much as you can on your next inhale. And then let go as best you can on that following exhale. One more time together. I want you to breathe in abundance and possibility. And breathe out any resistance or self-doubt. Good. Now just continue following those waves of your breath. Don't worry about smoothing anything out or fixing anything. Just let it flow naturally. What matters most is that you stick with the breath. So using it to work through any bits of physical tension, mind chatter, or anything that wants to take you away from this place right here. I want you to see each new cycle of breath as a brand new chance to begin again. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. Now, if you were in a seated position, you can come find your way onto your backs. Keep that attention, that focus on the breath throughout the duration of your practice. And we're just gonna start to wake things up a bit. So bend your knees, plant your feet to about mat width distance. Knees are pointing up towards the sky, and you're gonna allow those knees to knock together. This should feel like a nice release on your low back. And then we're gonna cactus our arms open. So kind of like a goalpost position. Palms are facing up towards the sky. And we're just gonna take those knees over towards the left like a windshield wiper. Don't worry about how far they go. Find your own depth. And then we're gonna take it over towards the right. Using your breath as your guide. Let's do one more time each way for good measure. Take it over to the left. And over to the right. Awesome. And then we're gonna bring those knees back to face the top of the ceiling. Heel toe your feet in about inner hips width distance. And then we're gonna extend that left leg straight. So your heel's connected down onto the earth and your foot is super flexed. Your whole leg is engaged and turned on. And then we're gonna bring that right knee in towards our nose. So interlace your fingers around the shin. I want you to work your biceps here. So you're gonna pull that knee closer towards your chest. That right foot is flexed too. So everything's working. And just take a breath in through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. One more time like this. And breathe it out. Good. And then we'll move into a little supine twist here. So take your left hand, reach for your right knee, and we're just gonna stretch that leg across the body. So the inner arch of your right foot is probably the only thing that is touching down onto the earth. Don't worry if that right knee's nice and high. We're gonna cactus out that right arm and gaze is gonna follow, and we're just twisting things, getting it all moving. Breathe it in and breathe it out. One more time. Good, let it go. Next, inhale like we were waking up first thing in the morning. We take a full body stretch. So straighten out those legs, arms come overhead, stretch it out. Good, and then we're gonna keep that right leg right where it is, just switching sides. We're gonna hug that left knee in towards our chest. So interlace your fingers around the shin, hug everything in, engage those biceps, make it all work. Both feet are flexed, breathe in, breathe out. One more time here. Good, and then moving into that supine twist. So take your right hand to the left knee, and again, we're just gonna stretch it across the body, going as far as you can. Don't worry if the inner arch of that left foot can't quite touch the ground. Let's cactus that left arm, and gaze is gonna follow. Relax your shoulders here. Try not to clench anything. And let's take one more round of breath. And breathe it out. Good, one more time, take that full body stretch, point your toes, sweep your arms overhead, really lengthen here. And then we're gonna hug those knees in towards our chest. So wrapping our arms around the shins, grab for opposite elbows. And I always like to kind of massage my low back, a little gentle rock, just seeing how it feels. And then we're gonna take our hands to our shins and rock and roll ourselves to a tall, comfortable seat. You can always use your hand just to prop you up if that's a little bit easier for you. So just a nice cross-legged position here. I want you to sit up nice and tall, loop the shoulders down your spine, create that space. And then on our next inhale, we're gonna sweep our arms up overhead, connect them in prayer. And then we're gonna flip our palms inside out. And again, like you're going for that morning stretch, just do what feels good. Lean one way and then lean the other way. Maybe take some circles if the body's calling for that. Good, and then stretch up towards the sky. And we're gonna find that goalpost arms again. So cactus your arms and then take a little puff of your chest up towards the sky to create some nice space. We're squeezing those shoulder blades together. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, we're gonna tent those right fingertips down by our right side, and then we're gonna stretch that left arm over our ears, so bending into that right elbow. And take a moment here just to twist your body up towards the sky. So your gaze is in the inner eye of that left elbow. Take another breath, maybe deepen if you can. Good, and come back up the way we started. So with those cactus goalpost arms, really expand the chest, breathe it in. Exhale, 10, the left fingertips, stretch the right arm overhead, spin your chest. Go a little deeper if you can. You want those sits bones grounded so nothing's lifted. Good, and straighten out your spine. So both fingertips are down by your side now. And then we're gonna trail our fingers forward, plant your palms, lift your chest, and I want you to just shimmy from side to side. So we're working into those hips, the tightest part from sitting all day, from all that work we do. This is where we need to create that space. So if you find yourself slowly getting yourself a little bit closer towards the ground, maybe you can come down onto your forearms. Maybe you can slide your arms straight. Don't force anything. And again, be mindful of those sits bones. If they're lifting up, you've gone too far. Take a nice, healthy breath in and let it go. From here, we're gonna plant our palms, roll over those knees, and we're gonna come into a tabletop position on our mat. So tabletop position, everything's situated about hips width distance. Your palms are right underneath your shoulders, knees underneath those hips. You can tuck your toes or untuck them, it's totally up to you. And then I want you to just flip your palms so your fingers are facing your knees. So all that work we're doing on our devices, we need to stretch out those forearms, those wrists. So fingertips are facing your knees, and doing this at your own caution here, just sink your weight slowly towards your heels. It's a very fine line between pain and pleasure here. So make sure if you're feeling any pain points, you back up out of it, okay? We're just stretching it out. Good. It's okay if those palms lift a little bit. Then we're gonna come forward. I want you to roll out that right wrist, then the left wrist. Awesome. Plant your palms. And now we're gonna start to incorporate that vinyasa style. So we're linking our breath with our movement and moving a little bit quicker. So we're gonna come into what we call our cat-cow. So on your inhale, with your fingers spread nice and wide, we're gonna drop our belly, lift our gaze to where the wall and the ceiling meet, okay? This is our cow pose, so really exaggerate it. On your exhale, you're gonna round and curl in, chin to chest, and I want you to push that mat away. So really hollowing out the belly. A few more times, moving on the breath. So inhale on your cow, arch your back, gaze upward, and exhale into your cow, cat. Good. One more time, breathe it in. Don't worry about how silly you look, no one can see you. And then push it back. Awesome. Good, neutralize your spine. Then we're gonna take our knees max with distance, uncurl your toes, sink your weight towards your heels, and walk your palms out. This is our Balasana, child's pose. This is your resting pose. Whenever you need a break throughout your practice, you can always come right back to this pose. If this is too much for your hips, bring your knees a little bit close together and take it like that. So just take a few breaths here. Fine breath. Good. Then pushing through our palms, we're gonna roll forward, tuck your toes, lift your hips up towards the sky. We're coming to our first downward facing dog. So you might need to walk your palms forward a little bit. So a good test to make sure we're in the right formation for our down dog is to roll forward to our plank pose. And then push it back towards your down dog. So you wanna make sure you don't have to move any feet or hands in that transition, okay? So let's get nice and comfortable in our down dog. So I always like to bend one knee, kind of pedal out my dog, work those calves, get into the hamstrings, all the tight, sticky parts, right? And then just work the heels towards the earth. It's okay if they're not close just yet. And now we're gonna start to approach our vinyasa. So we're gonna do a modified vinyasa. I'll walk you through it every step of the way. So on your inhale, we're gonna ripple through our spine, come forward to your plank pose. So super important in our plank pose, we are pushing the mat away from us. We're nice and strong and controlled. Shoulders are right over those wrist creases. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, I want you to lower down knees first, then chest, And then chin, all the while hugging those elbows in towards your side. So we look like a little inchworm, right? On your next inhale, uncurl your toes, slither into your cobra. So we're pulling our heart through and up towards the sky. Keep it low, make it your own. And then we're pushing through those palms. Let's return to our child's pose. So knees match with distance, big toes kiss, and then drop your seat towards your heels. One big breath in, one big breath out. Using those palms to guide you, roll forward, tuck your toes, lift those knees. We're back in our downward facing dog. All right, let's get this party started. We're gonna sweep the right leg nice and high. Exhale, we're gonna bring that right knee in towards our nose, and we're gonna step in between our palms. So you can always use your hand to assist you, that's all good. I'm gonna drop that left knee down. I like to keep my back toe tucked for some extra stability. If this doesn't feel good on your knees, I encourage you to roll your mat or find a blanket or bolster to put underneath your knee to give you a little extra cushion. So just another way to make your practice your own. And we're just gonna climb our hands, interlace them on top of that right knee, and just breathe. So our supported Anjaneyasana is what we call this pose in our Sanskrit. So on your inhale, just push those elbows straight. So you're pushing your belly away from that thigh. And we wanna really feel this through that left hip flexor, right? So we're not dumping, we're not arching our back, we are finding strength. Take another breath. On your exhale, you're gonna plant that left palm down inside your right foot. On your inhale, we're gonna sweep that right arm back behind us. I want you to really create space in your heart, stretch it out. On your exhale, plant that right palm outside of your right foot. We're gonna come up to stand now. So back toes tucked, lift that left kneecap. We're pushing off the left foot. Left foot's gonna meet right at the top of the mat, and we're in a forward fold. So forward fold, you might need a bend in your knees. Keep your belly resting on your thigh, that's all good. You can grab for opposite elbows, and let's just hang in a rag doll. So head's nice and heavy. We're not hanging on to anything here. We are letting it all go along with the day. Good. Next inhale, we are going to rise to stand with intention, straighten up, sweep your arms up overhead, connect them in prayer. And exhale, bring that prayer down to heart space at Anjali Mudra. Next inhale, we're going to stretch that prayer up towards the sky. Spin your palms away from them, and we're going to swan dive our way back down to meet our toes. On your inhale, we're going to take a little half lift. So take your fingertips to your shins or your knees and just flatten your back halfway, 90-degree angle. Gaze is strong and forward. And exhale, plant your palms. We are going to step back to that plank first. Left leg goes back, followed by the right. We're back in that plank pose. Take a breath, prepare for our modified vinyasa. Exhale, lower down knees, chest and chin. Hug those elbows in, keep that connection. We're in our little inchworm. Then we're gonna uncurl our toes, slither our heart through our palms up towards the sky, Cobra Bhujangasana. And right away, we're coming back to that downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, push up and back, downward facing dog. Nice. Second side, sweep the left leg nice and high. Left knee in towards your nose, step it through. Again, you can always use that left hand to help it along. Let's drop the right knee down, climb your hands onto that left knee, interlace fingers around the knee, and just use it to straighten your elbows, so pushing that belly away from your thigh. Take a few breaths. Relax the shoulders. They're always wanting to crunch up towards your ears, so push them down. Awesome. Then we're going to plant that right palm inside that left foot. Next inhale, stretches that left arm back towards the back of your mat. Gaze follows, really expand here. And the next exhale, plant the left palm outside of your left foot, coming back to our forward fold. Lift your right kneecap, push off that right foot meets left, bend and fold, maybe with the bent knees, maybe you can straighten out the legs a little bit, grab for opposite elbows, Hang in your ragdoll. Maybe you find a little dance from side to side here, whatever you need. Awesome. Next inhale, let go of your elbows. We're gonna rise up and stand one more time, a little sun A variation, palms overhead. Exhale, prayer down at heart space. Inhale, prayer rises. Exhale, swan dive back down to meet your feet. Inhale, half lift, fingertips to your shins, flatten your back, stretch your gaze nice and forward. And then plant your palms. We're gonna step that right foot back, left leg. We're in our plank pose. I'm gonna show you a full vinyasa if you feel ready for it. So pushing the mat away. Exhale like you're coming into a push-up, find your chaturanga. Then we're gonna uncurl our toes, pull the heart through just like you did before. Kneecaps are rising here. And then we're coming back to that downward facing dog. So that modification that I showed you the first 2 times, always available to you, or the more advanced one if you are one of my advanced yogis tuning in, or you can skip them all together, okay? One more little active bit of movement before we begin to take it down. Good. Next, inhale, we're gonna sweep the right leg nice and high. Bend your knees, stack your hips. We're just opening the hip up a bit, okay? So I want you to think about pulling that right knee up towards the sky. That foot is flexed, shoulders are squared off. Breathe in. And exhale, we're gonna bring that right knee in towards your nose. Step the foot between your palm. Again, use an assist if necessary. I want you to tense your fingertips by your right foot. Disconnect belly from thigh. We are going to prepare to root to rise to our high lunge. So on your inhale, sweep your arms up towards the sky, lift your torso. If this is too much too soon, drop that left knee down towards the earth, okay? You've always got options. Please don't feel like you can't make this your own. So in our high lunge, a few checks, we drop into our hips, we kick through that left heel to straighten out the kneecap, and we roll our pinkies in, thumbs out so our arms can be nice and straight. Breathe here. Exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. If your kneecap is down, I'm going to encourage you to lift it up just for one breath. We're all going to clasp our hands overhead in prayer, loop our thumbs, stretch that prayer up towards the sky. On your exhale, lean over towards the right side, but still keep that right knee pulling in towards center. Get a nice stretch here. Breathe in, and we're gonna come to our warrior 2. So we're gonna cartwheel our arms open to a T. That back foot is gonna ground 90 degrees. Right knee is bent 90 degrees. And I want you to do some checks here. So we're gonna make sure we got heel to arch or heel to heel alignment. And we can see our right big toe, okay? Arms are nice and wide to a T, gaze is forward. I know that right leg is on fire. So let's get a nice little moving meditation going. So on your inhale, straighten your right leg, flip your palms, palms touch overhead in prayer. Exhale, wash it out, back to warrior 2. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, moving on the breath, straighten, arms overhead in prayer. Exhale, warrior 2. One more time, lift. And exhale. Good. From here, we're going to stretch forward, flip your palms, straighten the right leg, and we're coming to a side stretch, Trikonasana, peaceful Trikonasana. Slide your left hand down your thigh, right arm over ear, stretch it out. Good. And then we're going to cartwheel all the way down to the top of the mat, framing out that right foot. Left heel kicks up, and we're going to step back to our downward facing dog. So right foot matches left. Back of the mat, reset. Return to our vinyasa. Inhale, roll forward to your plank pose. Exhale again, modify knees, chest, and chin. Hug those elbows in, uncurl your toes, slither into your cobra. Back to your downward facing dog. We got one more side, then we're taking it down. Inhale, sweeps the left leg nice and high. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. Really stamp through that left palm so you don't take your shoulder with you. And work the knee up a little bit higher towards the sky. Then we're going to bring that left knee in towards our nose. Step the foot between your palms. Tense your fingertips. Disconnect belly from thigh if you can. Good spot for blocks here. Inhale, we're gonna sweep our arms up, lift our torso, find our high lunge. Again, you can drop that knee down just like we did in our warm up. Drop into the hips, kick through that back heel. So everything is nice and anchored here. Roll the pinkies in, breathe it in. Breathe it out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Good, if your knee is down, let's try to pop it up. We're all gonna connect our palms overhead in prayer, loop the thumbs, stretch your prayer up towards the sky, get nice and tall. Now your next exhale, we're just gonna lean those arms over towards the left. So really stretching out the right side. Take one more big breath here. And exhale, unravel to your warrior two. So arms are out to a T, back foot's grounded 90 degrees, left knee is bent 90 degrees. So we got heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Got a nice healthy bend. Careful that the knee doesn't track past the ankles. Arms are nice and wide, strong warriors. And let's find that moving meditation again. Inhale, straighten the left leg, palms overhead in prayer. Exhale, wash it out, warrior two. Two more times. Inhale, straighten, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, warrior. One more time. Inhale, straighten. And warrior two. Good. Next, inhale, we stretch that left palm forward. Flip the palm, straighten the left leg, and stretch all the way towards the back of the mat. So this time our right hand is sliding down the thigh. Tilt that chin up towards the sky. Get a nice, long and healthy neck here. And then we're gonna cartwheel all the way down, top of the mat, finding our lunge position. So palms string out that left foot, that right heel kicks up. And we're gonna push back to our downward facing dog. Let's reset here. Prepare for our final vinyasa. I'll do the full one. If you want to do modified, please, by all means. Next, inhale carries you forward like a wave to your plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga, or knees, chest, and chin. Uncurl your toes. Find your heart opener here. Really expand. Draw the shoulder heads back. And then take your knees, match with distance, big toes touch. Sink your weight towards your heels. Find a child's pose. Breathe here. Good. And then come to that downward facing dog one more time. We're just gonna end on a nice little twist here. So hips nice and high. And I want you to kick up those heels and just tiptoe your way to the top of your mat. Once you reach the palms, just drop down onto your seat. And we're gonna extend that left leg out in front of us, foot is flexed. And then we're gonna take our hands around that right shin. And we're just gonna pick up that right foot and step it outside of our left thigh. I want you to plant that right palm behind your low back, so use it to prop you up. Left arm's gonna reach up towards the sky, and I want you to just hug that right knee in towards your chest as you spin your gaze over that right shoulder. So inhales really lengthen you through your spine. Exhales twist you a little bit deeper over the shoulder. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Then counter the other way. So plant your palms towards the left. Just bow down. Straighten your spine. We're going to extend that right leg to match your left. So foot is flexed. And then we're just going to bend that left knee and plant the foot outside of that right thigh. Preparing for a twist here. Prop your left hand behind your back. Sit up nice and tall. Right arm up towards the sky. And exhale, hug that knee in towards your chest as you twist over the left shoulder. Keep the flex in that right foot. Don't forget about it. And use your breath. Good. Counter over towards the right side. So planting your palms, bow down in gratitude for your practice this evening. I want you to lift your torso, extend that left leg to match your right. I want you to clasp your hands in prayer, reaching for those toes and using your core strength. We're gonna come all the way onto our backs. Nice and slow. I want you to hug your knees in towards your chest, wrap them again, grab opposite elbows. And then I want you to engage everything as you lift your shoulders up, squeeze that nose towards your knee, point to flex the feet. We're gonna take the biggest breath of our day so far, so fill up as much as you can, belly, ribs, chest. On your exhale, let it all go with a heavy sigh. Return just the way we started, that Shavasana, final resting pose. Extend your legs out, mats with distance, arms float down by your side, palms face up. Let everything go, all that active movement, and just be still. You can stay in this Shavasana for as long as you like. If you have to leave, by all means, but I will keep this going for a few more breaths before we say our final farewells. Wonderful. If you could all join me, plant your left hand over your heart, right hand over your belly, and just allow me this final moment to thank you, my fellow yogis, for sharing your beautiful, strong, and dedicated practice with me. It is an honor and a privilege to guide you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Wishing you all peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Enjoy that Shavasana if you are still in it. Thank you.
Namaste, Christina. I think we're going to let everyone take one last breath and we're going to log off.
Bye.